Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moonriver's Movr token. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check it out. It's going to be in the top right-hand corner of the video. Also, I do have two donation links down below in the description if you want to support Ukraine and you want to help us win against the Russian war machine, then feel free to donate and support the Ukrainian refugees or Ukraine's military. The websites are official. The funds do not go through me. You can double and triple check them yourself to make sure that you trust the funds. Now, jumping into the daily chart here, this is the chart from KuCoin on TradingView. So I did give you this buy zone anywhere from $13.50 all the way down to $10.50. And believe it or not, I actually did catch the bottom here. And I do share all of my trade alerts on Patreon. It's linked down below in the description. We have a ton of stuff in there, low cap gem calls, TAs, and I did buy into Moonriver here at $10.30, as you can see. And from there, we had a nice pump of around about 75% just 2 days later. And I kid you not, I did have my orders slightly below as well, but I did end up getting in here at $10.30. And at the moment, with the current price, we're up 22.6%. And as you can see, we are running into the 20 EMA on the daily chart, the yellow line here. And as you can see, the gap in between the 55 EMA and the 20 EMA is quite large. So we want to get the EMAs closer together if we want to start flipping to the upside. Now, one thing that I am potentially looking for here is a backtest of resistance here of $13.50, because once you lost this level over here, as you can see, you did wick above multiple times and you are just consolidating here. You were consolidating here. You have a nice double bottom pattern and you can run into the 1.618 as resistance and continue on to the downside. That is a possibility. It all depends on Bitcoin. But if we take a look at the double bottom pattern that we have here, so this is going to be your neckline, okay? This over here is going to be your neckline. So that is at $12.90. So you have to break the neckline. And as you can see, the second low is higher than the first one, okay? So the candles closed higher. So this means that this is a valid double bottom pattern. Now, how do you target this pattern? It is really simple. For those of you who have been on the channel for quite a while, you probably know this already, but you take a trend line from the top of the neckline here all the way to the bottom of the double bottom pattern, and then you place it where you think the breakout is going to happen. Okay, so let's say we do break out here right now. Then you are going to be targeting around about, let me give you that. So you're going to be targeting around about $15.44. And that is slightly above the 1.414, which is sitting at $14.85. So ideally, you could target the 1.414 if we end up breaking out here. And if we do indeed break through the 1.618, then I would target the 1.414 at $14.85. So I personally do own Moonriver tokens. Like I said, I bought in at this dip over here, and I did stake them on the Binance website for now, but I will look for other staking opportunities. And because I really don't want to keep my funds on centralized exchanges, I do not like that whatsoever. Now, let's say we did pump, okay, and we are going to break through the 1.414 as well. Above that, we have the 1.272 at $15.92. So that is another resistance level that you have to keep an eye on. And after that, I would target the first fib level here and the 55 EMA on the daily chart as well. So these are sitting at $18.20 and the 55 EMA is at $18.40. So you have multiple targets to the upside, but are you going to get there? That is the question. It all depends on Bitcoin, depends if we have more FUD in the markets. Honestly, I'm not expecting us to break all kinds of major resistance levels. I'm simply expecting a lower high. So we have a high here, as you can see over here. You retraced, you printed a high. This is your high. Now you came back down, you drop, you're going to come up, you're going to create a lower high. and then you're going to continue to the downside. So it is possible we do pump a little bit. It is possible, of course, with some short-term news, but the inflation is rising, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Potentially, we're going to get a pullback on July 13th because we're going to get the information regarding the rate, and we'll see. But jumping into the daily chart here, so as you can see, we did have a bounce from the white trend line, and I did give you this support for future reference. As you can see, we had one bounce here in January, and we had a nice move to the upside, almost getting us to the overbought. And right now we had another bounce here in June, and as you can see, potentially we're going to run into some sort of resistance. Now I would target this green trend line here because we did run into this level as support twice. Okay, then we lost it here. We did back test it as resistance, and right now we could potentially have another back test of resistance down the line. So I wouldn't discount this trend line for now. So I'm just going to have it on my charts just in case. And if you see yourself pull back, I would target the red trend line and the white trend line that I have set up for you. So you have one level here, one touch here, second touch here, and a third touch of resistance here. So as you can see, the red trend line is a valid level of support. The same goes for the white trend line, one touch over here, second touch over here. So you have to keep all of these things in mind, draw them out on your chart. It's really easy to to buy the dip. For me personally, I know some of you think that the prices are going to go down, but you have to understand, if you buy here, let's say, and the price dips 15%, let's say, you can just buy a bit more. So even with that, this is not as scary as buying Moonriver when it was at all-time high prices, okay? Because if you bought here and now you're down here, well, that's not very good, but that's why you should be dollar cost averaging your way through the dip so that your average buy-in price is as low as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the trading view chart. Let's switch over to the Binance website. Moving over to the daily chart, I do want to remove this Fib retracement here and show you this ascending triangle that we have at the moment. So ignore the wicks. As you can see, we do have an ascending pattern here, and the breakout target could be something that we are going to see in the next couple of days. So if we do end up breaking out, obviously, and you're going to see a target here at $15.60. So you have a double bottom pattern, you have an ascending triangle pattern, lots of bullish patterns. Obviously, you have your buy zone here from $10.60 all the way to $9.80. This is where you are potentially going to end up at if you lose the white trend line here as support. So keep this in mind. We're just barely breaking the 20 EMA on the daily chart. I wouldn't really, expect anything unless we start breaking this swing high, because if you really want to see what are the targets here, let's, for example, take this wick over here, and let's ignore those two huge wicks. So you have a wick to $13.80. Since then, you did retrace all the way to the 0.236. You had an uptrend since then. Right now, you're running into resistance at the 786 Fib retracement level. And if you end up breaking $13.8, you're going to be looking at $17.1 over here. So you have a ton of swing trading opportunities, especially if you were here. If you caught this pump, you could have sold at $15 even and bought back in cheaper here at $12. So you have a lot of swing trade opportunities. I do like to swing trade a lot. You have a lot of resistance levels above you. I just gave you a ton of resistance levels. And even if you want to buy in now, I think this is fairly cheap for a Moonriver. But like I said, I would wait just a little bit. And if we take a look at the daily stochastic, as you can see, it's in the overbought. So this potentially means that we're going to see a pullback in the near future, and we're going to end up down here in the oversold. And that's when you want to enter. And as you can see, the MACD is starting to get a little bit overextended. We got the bullish cross here June 23rd. So that was your indicator that we could see a nice spike in the price action. And let's see where this ends up. Once you see the bearish cross on the MACD, that could be your confirmation of the downtrend. Although this is a lagging indicator, so the downtrend will start. and you will get the confirmation only, 3-4 days later. So that is regarding the MACD, and overall, let's jump into the weekly chart, and I do want to show you where the 20 EMA is currently at $52, right? So in the case of us pumping here, we could go all the way up to $50 here, or to the 20 EMA, let's say. We could get rejected from there and come back down, because that's what happens during downtrends. You get rejected by the 20 EMA, and we haven't had a bounce off the 20 ever on the Binance chart. So that is something to keep in mind as well. So if you see yourself pump to these big numbers here, you have a resistance level to keep in mind, and the 20 EMA is something that you need to have on your charts, as well as the 55 EMA. By the way, I do have a ton of EMAs here, so if I switch over to the 4-hourly chart so that you can see all of them, I'm going to remove the drawings here, set that to auto. So I have the 10 EMA, I have the 80 EMA, I have the 100 EMA because 100 EMA I'm using for Bitcoin a lot, 35 EMA, the 150 EMA, the 200 EMA, and I do use the Bollinger Bands here as well. So those are some of the EMAs that I use. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. Like I said, I do drop in a lot of technical analysis in there that you request. We have video requests, low cap gem calls. A lot of the low caps that I'm dropping there are doing 2 to 20x. So feel free to join in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Goodbye and